I got together with these wonderful people, and we're out here trying to share our stories of what's going on in Salinas. We may be a few, but with these few, we are powerful.
That's right.
We've spread the word. Others have to work, they have families, but we will continue.
That's right.
I want to introduce my first speaker. Her name is Rita Acosta. Her son is Jose Velasco, and he was brutally beaten by our famous Salinas police. Rita?
On June the 5th, I called Salinas PD and called for I called for help for my son because he was having a breakdown. He was having an episode, and so I called for help. And I told him that I needed a police unit and a medical unit because they told me that I needed to call them and they had resources that help with the mentally ill. So I called, and I thought at that time I was going to be receiving help for my son. And when they got there, instead of helping him, and usually I get help from the police, this time they were under the assumption I was being attacked by my son, because callers had said that a young man was trying to throw a woman into the intersection. And everything happened so fast, I didn't even get to say anything to the police when they got there, because right away they treated him like he was attacking me. They pulled my son off of me. I yelled and I was telling him that my son was sick and that I called for help, and nobody listened or paid attention to what I had to say. All of a sudden, my son was being tased. He was screaming for help, not because the police were hitting him. He was screaming for help because he was being attacked in his own mind, I guess. He was fighting his demons that day. And the police department made my son out to be like a monster, you know, saying that he was trying to throw me into the street, he was trying to kill me. That wasn't the case. I was on the floor because I was trying to get my son not to go into the street, so the only thing I could do is put all my weight to his feet, you know, wrap myself around him. And the police thought he had me down to the ground. So they pulled him off, tased him, and as I'm yelling, telling him to stop, my son's just still screaming, "Mom, help me, help me." So he pulls, when they tased him, he's pulling the tasers off of him. And then all of a sudden, it's like, one by one, the police started coming, hitting him. Still, I'm hearing my son yell, "Help me, Mom, help," you know? And I keep telling him, "Stop, my son's sick." I called for help. Nobody paid attention. As the time kept on going, more officers were there, hitting him and hitting him. At one time, I actually thought my son was dead, because he just laid there. And, still, after they were done, I mean, they got my son, carried him like he was a hog on a stick, and put a bag over his head. My son doesn't remember the beating, thank God. He just remembers little pieces. He thought the Salinas PD was trying to kill him when they put the bag over his head. When they were done, they asked me if I needed medical attention, and I said no because I called for my son. So then they told me, "Well, is your son a gang member? And if he is he active?" And I said, "What does that have to do with me calling for help for my son?" And they didn't answer me, and they just spun off. And that was the only thing that they said to me. Nobody talked to me and asked me what was going on, what happened, what started, or how it started. The following day, a police officer tracked me down because they wanted to take pictures of me because, like I said, the newspaper and everybody said that my son was beating me and slamming me to the ground. But when the police came, I didn't have not one bruise on me or anything because that wasn't the case. You know, it was me trying to help my son, trying to save him from running back into the road. And, you know, I called for help for my son. My son, to this day, is still in county jail. He has a bunch of felony charges on him. They say they're trained with those batons not to hit major joints or anything, but every joint on him has a chunk of meat that was taken off the baton. It cracked his head open. He got 37 staples in his head, which they say they don't hit, you know, that they were aiming for his hands, but I mean, his head's bigger than his hand. I just, I don't know. I think my son shouldn't be in jail. I called for help, and what he got does not help, nor I. He said he got hit by the police, and one officer that just kept swinging at him like he was a piñata.
Is that him?
Yes.
Him right there?
Yeah.
That's him right there.
And, yeah.
Piñata time! Put the camera on him.
I want help.
Put the camera on him. Put the camera on the guilty one over there. That's the guilty man right there. Put the camera on him right there. And if you think it's a coincidence and he walks out right now, you're not paying
I thought you
attention.
were for the homeless.
He meets people.
Don't be in
Who said you supported us?
You meet people. These people are meet people.
The officers?
There's multiple exits. He chose to come out this way right now.
Sherwood Park. I never believed that he would be one of the ones that attacked my son. I was just like, I couldn't even believe it. But, yeah. My son's still in jail. And I hope he would come out, but that's not the case. And the police said that he had a parole hold on him. The parole didn't even know that my son was at Jose Velasco that was beat, so it wasn't him that, the parole officer didn't have a hold. It was Salinas PD that had the hold on him, so now we're just waiting for his court to go through.
Continue fighting.
Yeah, continue fighting.
Justice for Velasco.
Justice for Jose Velasco.
Justice for Jose Velasco. Yeah, Rita.
Thank you guys for all coming today. I just wanted to talk about how the youth react to situations like these of police brutality. I try to gather up my classmates from my government class and some of my other classes over there at North High, and I brought some of the flyers that we had made, and I talked to people and I talked in front of the class, and I told them that they need to hear me out because I knew that most of them were probably gonna ignore me if I didn't say that, but I had told them, I go like, this is a society that we have to raise our own kids, and our kids will raise our grandkids. And it's a corrupted society. I don't want to continue living in this kind of society where you don't know what the heck's gonna happen, and if the cops beat you up or kill you, they can get away with it. And I told them, I go like, you guys can't just let this continue. You can't let it go until you end up realizing that something's wrong when it ever happens to your family. And I told them, don't wait to the last minute like my family did. It took my uncle's murder, for my family to even step up into situations like this. I told them, don't wait until your brother, your sister, your mom, dad, aunt, uncles, cousins end up being killed or beaten by the cops for you to finally realize that something is wrong and that you need to stand up and make a change. And some people said that they were gonna try or that they would, and as usual, nobody ever shows up. And it's depressing because it's like they don't care. I guess they don't really have a matter in the world. They're not interested in things like this. They never partake in anything of politics that happen in the school. Even in our government classes, when there's debates or anything, they just stay silent. They don't say anything. But I'm the only one that even talks about it. I'm the only one that ever has responses to things about what is democracy, how can you take part of it, what things need to be changed in society in order to make it better for not only the youth but the next generations to come. Nobody ever talks unless it's me. And not only that, but a few days ago we had started an assignment in my government class where we had to pretend that we were the House of Representatives trying to pass a bill. My teacher separated our class half and half, Democrats and Republicans. I ended up becoming the House Minority Leader for the Democrats. And everybody wanted me to be in the position. And we had to come up with bills, like to pretend like if we were in the actual House of Representatives trying to pass the bill. And I chose the topic and the issue of the police brutality and racial profiling. When I talked about it and when I put all of my heart and all of the knowledge that I know that we're all trying to get here, what we want out of this, the change, the accountability and transparency and the indictments for cops to be indicted for what they've done, nobody even wanted to go against me because they knew that if they were gonna say some stupid things to counter me, I would have gone after them, or I would have countered them too, because I wouldn't let it go and I wouldn't let them try to step all over me. It supposedly passed in our little House of Representatives, and it's funny to see how all of them could debate on things like certain issues like abortion, minimum wage, immigration reform, and some of them were did with the police brutality, and they have like so many ideas, but they never come out and say do it. They can debate forever and ever, but they can talk the talk, but they can't walk the walk. They never show up. You ask them, and I asked them nicely, and apparently when I started crying about when I started talking to them, and I tried to get it through to them, I guess they just pushed me aside and just ignored me. I was hoping at least one person would show up, and now to see nobody shows up, I'm kind of angry. Because what's it gonna take for them to even say anything, for them to even want to make a change? And I guess they're just gonna continue to let themselves be stepped all over, and our futures to be crumbled because of this corruption in our government and our societies. And I'm really tired of it. That's why I'm going to continue doing what we do, no matter what. And if my peers and my fellow youth don't want to do it, then they'll find out in time that they're going to need to do it, and they're probably going to regret not doing it earlier.
¡Viva la guerrillera!
Okay, my name is Josie, and I'm here to talk about closer. I'm here to talk about my brother-in-law, Angel Ruiz. He was killed in March last year. He was shot 14 times by 3 cops. I just really want to say more of the effect that it took on everybody. He left 3 daughters and his wife, and they're secluded, more or less. Like, they just do their daily issues and then they go home. They don't really communicate with us very much, and I can understand that. I've asked my sister-in-law many times to come with me to these things, and she's not ready to do it. I've asked her to talk to someone, and she's not ready to do it. I just don't understand. I mean, I've been coming here for the last year and a half, and it's not just for my brother-in-law anymore, it's for everyone. And also, as a little girl, I've seen my dad and my uncles being beaten by the cops, and I've been harassed by them also. And I just don't understand how they can get away with everything that they do. there's a lot of things that were on video, and you can plainly see that they were doing wrong, and they still got away with it. So I just really hope one day there'll be some kind of change, because I have kids and they're having kids, and I don't want them to be living like this. I invite my older children to come, and they don't want to come because they're scared, and I understand that, and they're scared for me to come, but I understand that. But I just want change for my children and for the whole community. Thank you.
Yeah.